Okay, looking at 10.4 here, we're going to talk about polynomials. We got some vocabulary here that you can look up on Google or look up in your online textbook, but you should kind of become familiar with these words here. This first problem here says determine if the following expressions are polynomials. What we're looking for, and I put another YouTube video up there that someone else had made, is we're looking for positive integer exponents. And that kind of gets a little, the vocabulary gets a little complicated, but hopefully you'll start to realize that as you look through these right here, the only one that doesn't have a positive integer exponent is this one right here. And so this one is not going to be a polynomial. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly write not a polynomial or not by that one. Okay, but all these other ones are polynomials. It does ask us to also classify them as a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. Remember the prefix mono means one, and bi means two, and tri means three. So we're looking for one term, two terms, or three terms. Okay. Well, this is just one term right here, so it's a monomial. Okay, and just so you learn a little vocabulary, it's third degree, comes from the highest exponent here, and the leading coefficient, abbreviate here, is -5. Okay, so looking at the next one, we have a binomial. We have two terms here. Okay, so it's a binomial, and then it's a first degree, and you might not recognize this right now, but this is not in descending order. You want to put it from the highest power, which just has a power of 1 on it, to the lowest power, or the constant. Okay, so if you put this in descending order, it would look like this, and then this is actually the leading coefficient. All right, when it's in descending order. Okay. This one's not a polynomial, so we're going to just write not polynomial. And then this one's a binomial. Remember the word binomial, trinomial, monomial is just a more specific name for a polynomial. And then this one's kind of weird. I would have rather maybe had a little different example here, but we'll just leave it like this. I guess if it would have had a squared on it here, we would say it's a second degree. All right, and then the leading coefficient would be -7. Okay, so that one's kind of a little weird one there. All right, quickly looking at the other four here about whether they're polynomials or not, and look at this first one here. We have a -3. This is not a polynomial. Okay, this one, that's not an integer, that's a fractional exponent, that's not a polynomial. This one gets a little confusing for some students, but it is a polynomial. And then this one's going to be a polynomial also. So let's look at this one first. This obviously has one term, so it's a monomial. Okay. The power on this, which gets a little weird for some students to think about, is there's an x to the 0 on there. So it's a 0 degree, okay, or it's a constant degree of 0. All right, and so the leading coefficient would be 15. So that one gets a little confusing with this degree of 0, because a lot of students will think it's a degree of 1 because there's a power of 1 on the 15. Okay. This one here is a trinomial, and we'll be working a lot with trinomials in factoring. Trinomial, and it's second degree, and the leading coefficient is -3, and it's in descending order from the highest power down to the lowest power. Okay, so that gets us a little vocabulary with polynomials. We're going to learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, factor polynomials, evaluate them by putting a value in for the variable. So a lot of work with polynomials to come. So all right, thanks.